Sorry about the fan noise. I've got my rx7 83 module, the actual, or 83 workshop manual, the actual manual from Mazda. It gives you just doing this on a shitty ass iPhone. Gives you the two different things for engine, engine removal. The procedures for removing the engine from the vehicle are as follows. Apply the parking brake, block the wheels, drain the lubricant from the engine. After draining, clean and reinstall the drain plug. Remove the engine undercover, which is the splash shield essentially. Open the bonnet, which is the hood, and disconnect the battery. Negative cable, remove the bonnet referring to paragraph 14A. Disconnect the high tension cords at the ignition coils. Disconnect the coupler of the pickup coil wiring condenser lead. Disconnect the couples of the oil levers. Disconnect basically everything. And then I'll show you here the pictures. Like that. If anybody ever actually sees this video and I'm still around, I'll post up a question, I'll go through it again. Let's disconnect, demount the air conditioning compressor if equipped, jack up the vehicle and supported it with stands, disconnect the wiring and remove the starting motor to remove the bolts attaching the transmission to the rear end of the engine. And pretty much that's where I'm at with this. And it shows remove the exhaust pipe front cover. Oh, hold on. Loosen nuts. Support the front end of the transmission with a suitable jack. Install the hanger to the engine stand. Giving you part numbers that don't mount this shit no more. And then mount the engine on the rear stand. Remove the valve and piping assemblies from the engine. So basically your rat's nest. Then your air pump, alternator, inlet manifold and carburetor assembly next. Remove the exhaust manifold cover, remove the inlet manifold and the carburetor assembly, remove the gasket and O-rings. Basically get all the shit hanging off the sides of it off is what they're saying. Exhaust manifold and engine mount. The distributor, remove the distributor lock nut, remove the distributor, that's pretty fucking easy. Oil cooler and oil filter, remove the oil pipe, water hose, oil cooler and oil filters, remove the O-rings. Do not remove the oil filter cartridge from oil cooler unless it is necessary to replace. Not a big deal. Water pump, remove the pulley for air conditioning compressor, remove the water pump. This one assumes basically you're a competent mechanic. It says oil pan and oil strainer, remove the oil pan, remove the oil strainer and gasket. To remove the oil pan, slowly drive the scraper of blah, 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 blah. Engine shaft, eccentric shaft pulley. You got to get a stopper for it. It shows you, or another way to stop it, because that's the flex plate version. The other one's a manual transmission. Then you remove the front cover. So and so and so and so. Yep. I'm not gonna go through all this. I'll just kind of go through it with the video. If you want to pause, that way you can understand the manual if you're ever to do one of these yourself. It refers to part numbers that don't fucking exist really, because these are, you know, 40-year-old vehicles. Before the internet was around, really. Talking about rear counterweights. Giving you the almighty pattern that you should follow. Then imagine nobody ever follows to disassemble. I don't think it makes a difference, but I'm not an expert. Lift the rear housing off the shaft, remove the seals stuck on the rotary sliding surface of the rear housing and replace them back onto the respective original positions. So remove the, rear rotor housing, remove the sealing with the pulley. Seal case, which we don't have that. See, that's a seal case. Basically just a box. But you could make that up or make that somehow. You figured it out. Mark the rear and front. Cleaning it for reassembly. Inspection and repair. Inspection and repair. Inspect the following parts in sequences: front airway, rear housing, chock housing for warpage and straight edge with the housing surface. If the warpage exceeds the limit, reface or replace the housing. Most likely you're going to reface. I don't think you're going to get a new housing. They're too expensive. Refacing is $150 or so. New rotor plates are like $200 at the bare minimum for used ones that still need refaced. It's kind of telling you, showing you how it's done. Giving you a magnetic base to check the step wear. I believe, yeah. Stepped wear by side seal limit, 10.1 millimeter, or almost 4/1000ths of an inch. Let's see, 12, yep, 14. Showing you. Move feeler to and fro. Trying to just basically see how much wear this motor has. Yeah, they're telling you how to strike it with a fucking hammer to reset it. That ain't gonna fucking work. Call up Racing Beat and ask them if they'll fucking, if you got problems with that, ask them if they'll fucking check ring it with a snap ring and see if you can get it to fucking cease from popping out. Trying to make this video as quick as possible, but yet have the information out there for later. They're showing 1, 2, and 3 there. That's important because I think they refer to it. And needle bearing and thrust plate, check it for damage or wear. We're talking about paint because they're using new parts, but we can't get new parts that easily. So this is engine assembly. I'm just gonna go over this quickly. Using a rubber band, it looks like. Showing the assist piece in it. But this little break is right here, that's just so they don't have to draw the whole image. That's just showing that they didn't draw the middle part of it, just to save space. Phone's about to die, so. Measuring compression, pressure, other shit. Phone's about to die, so I gotta end this here. Yeah, I'll go over pretty much this whole book eventually and publish information out so that way it's actually out there. I imagine there's not very many of these service manuals, and even if it doesn't get viewed by very many people on my channel or anybody at all, at least the information is out there if it ever gets recommended to people that need it. I'll try my best to get it out there because this is this is information people desperately need, because this is what Mazda was saying that you need to do. What other people tell you to do is what other people tell you to do. All I know is I'm going to do it the best I can. I'm not a mechanic, and I'm just working on this on my own stuff. You do what you want. Peace.